Okay, so we're going to work on the AND statement right now, and we're going to start with this column right here, the concerns. And what we want to do is we want to have it turn red if their number grade or their citizenship grade is less than 2. So anything above 2, it'll be green. Anything below 2, either one of them, it'll turn red. And so for that, we are going to have to use an OR statement. Okay, we're going to start with our if statement, just like we used before on the last one. And this time, because we want to either this is less than 2 or that is less than 2, we're going to type in OR. And we're just going to click on the 3.4. And we're going to say if that is less than 2, we always put a comma in between them, in between our arguments, what they're called arguments. Then we want to get right here where this is showing. So I'm going to have to click on the 2 below here and move using the arrow keys, move my cursor up to get to G4. And if that's less than 2, we want it also. Always end with a parenthesis, comma. If either one of those are true, we want to put a 1 in there. Otherwise, we want a 0 in there. Those are going to be our control numbers to decide if it's going to be red or green. End parentheses, hit enter. I'm not going to worry about what it looks like right now. I am going to copy and paste it all the way down. And we have some 1s and 0s. Now I'm going to highlight the whole thing again. And I want 1s to be red because 1 means that their grade is low or their citizenship is low. And 0s are going to be green because that means they're both at least a 2. So I'm going to go up to conditional formatting. I'm going to go highlight cell rules, equal to, and I'm going to put a 1 in there. If it's equal to a 1, I'm going to go to here, click, go down to custom format. This will come up. Then I'm going to choose the font. I want 1s to be red, so I'm going to do the font red and the fill red. So it'll fill the box with red. So now everybody who I need to be concerned about, whose grade or citizenship shows up in a bright red. Now I'm going to go back to conditional formatting, and I'm going to go highlight rules, equal to, and this time I'm going to put 0 in, and I'm going to go to custom format. This time I'm going to make it green, because 0 means I don't have to worry about them. Click OK, and there we go. Now our concerns are all done. You can see there's a lot of students I need to be concerned about. The next thing we want to do is actually going to take a couple of steps, quite a few steps actually. What I want in here is I want them to show their proficiency in this column here, and we're going to color coordinate those too. So if they're above proficient, I want it to say above proficient. If they're proficient, I want it to say proficient, and so on down. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to a 3.5. Same here. So you'll want to do that, because if it's above 3.5, we're going to say they're above proficient. If it's between 3 and 3.5, they're proficient. If it's between 2 and 3, they're approaching. If it's between 1 and 2, they're below proficient. So we're going to have to do 2 different formulas here. This column J, the first one is going to be one formula, which is just going to be a simple if statement. The other 3 are going to be the same, basically the same formula. As a matter of fact, we're going to lock things in. We're going to make things absolute so that we can copy and paste it across the whole thing. But that needs to be an AND statement, because we have to have proficient has to be less than 3.5 and greater than or equal to 3, whereas above proficient only has to be 3.5 or above. So we're going to start here with our if statement. If grade here, whoops, I forgot to start it with an equal sign, so we'll try it again. Equal if that is greater than or equal to the 3.5 here. I want it to put above proficient, so I'm going to tell it to put J1 in there. Otherwise, I want it to put nothing in there. And I can't just leave it blank. I have to tell it nothing by putting 2 double quotes after that. Okay, now you have to be careful about that. And this can't be 4 single quotes, 1, 2, 3, 4, because this won't accept it. If I try to hit enter, it tells me I messed up. So I have to make sure it's 2 double quotes. Now it'll accept it. And that, the double quotes tell it that to put nothing there at all. Now it doesn't show anything because they're not above 3.5, but when I copy it and paste it all the way down, whoops, too far, there we go. Oh, I did forget one thing. I forgot to lock in the J1. And actually, I forgot to lock in the J2 also. The F4 goes up and down, so as I paste it down, it doesn't matter. But these two I don't want them to follow down, so I have to lock in the 2 and the 1. Remember, you do that with a dollar sign. 2 and a 1. Now I lock that in. Now it's going to work. And I'm just going to paste it right over the other formulas. And now you can see it says above proficient on all the numbers, all the grades that are above 3.5 or above.